Good evening and welcome back to the Kelly Clarkson Show. Everybody, give it up for our incredible studio audience today because we have a massive guest, the one, the only, wildlife warrior, photographer extraordinaire, and absolute heartthrob of Australia. Robert Irwin is in the house. Robert, come on out. Look at him. Oh my gosh. He's brought friends. Yes. He's walking out with a gorgeous blue-tongued skink on his arm and the crowd is already losing their minds. Kelly is standing up, doing her little happy dance as usual, hugging Robert the second he hits the stage. "You're so tall now, stop it." She laughs, because the last time he was on the show he was basically still a teenager and now he's 21 and towering over her. Robert, ever the gentleman, laughs and says, "Yeah, I grew a little bit, sorry about that, mate." They sit down on the iconic red couch, the skink chilling on Robert's lap like it's the most normal thing in the world. Kelly immediately goes, "Okay, first question, does that tongue actually taste the air or is it just showing off?" Robert launches into the most passionate 5-minute explanation about how blue-tongued skinks use their tongue as a sensory organ, flicking it to pick up chemical cues, how the bright blue color is actually aposematic signaling to predators that they taste foul. And the audience is eating it up because when Robert Irwin talks about animals he lights up like his dad used to. Kelly keeps going, "That is so cool." Every 10 seconds, clearly loving every second. Everything feels wholesome, ratings are probably through the roof already, and the segment is going exactly according to plan A or so everyone thinks at this point. Kelly decides to pivot to the personal side because that's what she does best. She leans in with that big sister energy and says, "So, Robert, you're 21 now, you're out there traveling the world, doing incredible conservation work, but the internet wants to know, are you dating anybody?" The audience oos dramatically. Robert blushes the brightest red you've ever seen on national television, and he laughs and covers his face with one hand while carefully keeping the skink safe with the other. He goes, "Oh no, here we go again," in the most adorable Australian accent. Kelly keeps pushing playfully, "Come on. There's gotta be someone. You're literally the most eligible bachelor in the wildlife world." Robert tries to deflect with humor, saying something like, "Look, my girlfriend would have to be okay with me bringing home random snakes and crocodiles at 2 a.m., so the dating pool is pretty small." The crowd laughs. Kelly pretends to raise her hand like "pick me." And it's all still lighthearted. Then Kelly, maybe trying to keep the bit going, says, wait, I heard a rumor you were seen with a mystery girl at Australia Zoo. Spill the tea." Robert's smile tightens just a fraction, but most viewers at home probably didn't catch it yet. He answers politely, "Nah, that was just my cousin. We were filming a segment together." People read way too much into everything these days. Kelly makes a teasing secure face. The audience laughs again, and for about 10 more seconds everything still feels like classic daytime TV banter. Then it takes a turn nobody saw coming. Kelly, perhaps thinking she's keeping the playful vibe alive, says, "Okay, but seriously, your DMs must be insane. Like, do girls just send you photos with koalas hoping you'll notice them?" Audience laughs, but Robert's expression changes completely. He sets the skink gently into its travel carrier, sits up straighter, and says, very calmly but firmly, "Actually, Kelly, can we not do this? I'm here to talk about conservation and the animals, not my personal life." Studio goes dead silent for a beat. Kelly, a little thrown but still smiling, tries to save it with, "Oh come on, it's all in good fun, the fans love it." But Robert doesn't back down. He looks her straight in the eye and says, with respect, "I've spent my entire life having every single aspect of it dissected by the media. My dad died on camera when I was a baby, my mom's grief, my sister's wedding, everything. I'm asking nicely, can we keep it to the animals, please?" You can hear a pin drop. Kelly's smile falters for the first time in probably years on her own show. She says, of course, I'm sorry," and quickly segues to, "So tell us about this gorgeous skink again." But the energy has completely shifted. The warmth is gone, and now it feels like everyone in the room is holding their breath waiting to see what happens next. Kelly, maybe out of nerves or maybe because she genuinely doesn't realize how deep she cut, tries to lighten the mood again by bringing up Steve Irwin. She says, "Your dad would be so proud of you right now." Carrying on the legacy, "He was always so larger than life." Most people would take that as the highest compliment, but Robert's face just shuts down completely. He takes a slow breath and says, "Yeah, broken bar." He would have also hated this kind of gossip stuff. He always said the animals are the real stars. The implication hangs heavy in the air that Steve Irwin himself would have shut down the personal probing too. Kelly laughs awkwardly and says, "Totally, 100%. So let's talk about your new photography book." But Robert isn't letting it go that easily now. He leans forward and says, "Actually, Kelly, I think we're done here." The audience gasps audibly. Kelly's eyes go wide. "Wait, I'm sorry." Robert stands up, carefully lifts the carrier with the skink, and says, "I came on to talk about wildlife conservation and the crisis facing Australian fauna right now. Instead we've spent 10 minutes on my dating life. I've got respect for you and what you've built, but I'm not here to be tabloid fodder. Thanks for having me, but I'm out." He turns and starts walking off stage while the crowd is in total shock. Kelly is sitting there absolutely stunned, mouth open, not knowing what to say. The director is screaming in her earpiece, the floor manager is frozen, and the live feed is still rolling. Backstage footage later leaks of Robert calmly handing the skink to his handler, giving him a nod like nothing happened, and walking straight out the emergency exit to where his team is waiting with the car. Meanwhile on stage, Kelly tries to recover for the remaining 20 minutes of the show, but she's clearly rattled. She keeps apologizing to the audience, saying, "I obviously crossed a line, that was not my intention. Robert is an amazing young man and I feel terrible." Brings out the next guest, some country singer, but the vibe is completely off and social media is already exploding. Within 10 minutes Robert walks off and Kelly Clarkson Show are trending worldwide. Clips are being shared millions of times, with captions ranging from "Protect Robert Irwin at all costs" to "Kelly got humbled real quick." Australian morning shows interrupt programming to discuss it. American late-night hosts are already writing monologues. Robert posts nothing. His team releases a short statement saying he left because he felt the interview strayed repeatedly from its agreed-upon focus on conservation despite multiple redirects. Kelly posts a longer apology on Instagram, saying she got carried away in the moment and takes full responsibility, that Robert did nothing wrong and she hopes they can speak privately soon. The internet, of course, splits into camps immediately. By the next day the fallout is nuclear. Major news outlets run headlines like "Robert Irwin storms off Kelly Clarkson Show after personal questions" and "Did Kelly Clarkson go too far?" Talk shows spend entire segments debating boundaries in celebrity interviews and whether Gen Z stars are changing the game by refusing to play along with invasive questions. Conservation donations to wildlife warriors skyrocket because people want to support Robert's actual mission. Kelly takes a week off for personal reasons, fueling even more speculation, though her team insists it was pre-planned. Robert flies home to Australia Zoo and posts his first photo since the incident. Him releasing a rehabilitated koala back into the wild with the caption "This is what matters." Post gets 4 million likes in an hour. Eventually, about a month later, Kelly sends flowers and a handwritten letter to Australia Zoo, and Robert responds with a classy video saying he harbors no ill will, that he knows Kelly is a good person who just got caught up in the format, and urges everyone to keep the focus on the animals. The whole saga becomes a cultural moment about privacy, respect, and how even fun daytime TV can cross lines none of us realized were there until a 21-year-old kid with his dad's spirit stood up and said enough. And honestly, the animals probably approved.